So what's going on in Antarctica? John Kerry, Secretary of State, right now he's in Antarctica, of all places, this very moment. Highest U.S. official. Well, this is not really true, actually, is it? I think Obama made a secret trip there earlier this year. So in 2016, right now, we got John Kerry there. And in February of this year, Patriarch Kirill was the first Orthodox leader to visit Antarctica. And he met with the Pope right around the same time in Cuba.
North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole, on the other side of the South Pole, from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing.
Now, folks, my interview with this pilot stunned me because he confirmed what happened in the Arctic. He also confirmed the Antarctic story, and he said, listen, he says, True, you don't want to know what happens when you go across this particular mountain range at the end of the Earth. He called it the end of the Earth. The end of the Earth is what he said to me in this interview in 1991. Okay, I said, is that a colloquialism? Is it a euphemism? He said, he just laughed, he says, no, I'm talking literally.
The first one is Palmer. That's right there. Second station we're looking at is Casey. And that is on the other side over here. That's one of the Australians' bases. The next one is Davis Station. And we can see that one right here. And then out on the island we have, this one here is Scott Base, another Australian one. And then out on the island we have McMurdo, which is near Shackleton's hut. So this is a webcam footage, and I will show you wherein lies the lie. So you see the sun come and go from your upper right to your upper left. And let's watch the shadow of the stick that's straight in front of us. So the kind of green one, straight ahead. Let's watch, keep an eye on that shadow, and you'll notice that the camera simply resets. So here comes the shadow towards us. Whoop. Why don't we get to see the shadow go around? Notice that the shadow of the green flag is coming around, but we never see it go in front of the green flag. Why is that? Because the sun isn't going around the continent. If it was, we would see the sun go around, then it would be behind us. If the sun was behind us, the shadow of the green flag would be in front of it. But that never happens. What happens is the sun is coming in from the northeast, coming across the horizon and going off to the northwest. You can even watch the sky. If you watch the sky, you'll see it is circling northeast to northwest, not circling around us. Again, if it was going around us, we would see that flag pointing straight forward. You'll see that there's definitely an issue with what we're taught. One of the easiest ways to prove that also is the amount of time that it would get all day sun or all day night versus the North Pole. And we've got people who live near the North Pole, in Norway, in Alaska, in Canada, and those people can tell us what they see, and what they see does not match the opposite down in Antarctica, meaning if in the North Pole they're getting 4 months of full sun, then at that exact time the South Pole should be getting 4 months of full no sun. It doesn't happen. At the most they get 6 weeks. So it simply means we don't live on a globe. Now you'll notice here that they start, when the sun starts getting really low, they'll actually blow a fog or a smoke or could be even snow. I don't even know what they're blowing. But you'll see if you look straight ahead that there's a blower that blows along the horizon. The reason for that is so that people who are down there don't get to see what the sun is actually doing, which is not circling their heads. Now, I will admit that for 6 weeks a year, Antarctica does get full sun. I've seen it on these webcam footages, but it is not, they don't have a view of the sun. So I know it doesn't make sense, and I fully admit that this is something that we need to research, because somehow when the sun leaves to the northwest and circles all the way on the other side of the Earth in its daily path, somehow it is remaining bright in Antarctica. Now, is that because of something in the atmosphere? Is it being some sort of reflection? Not sure. But it does prove two things. A, that it needs to be studied. B, that it's not a globe. Because if it was a globe, you would simply see the sun do a complete circle above your head. Now we can see this flag straight in front of us. Tell me, why don't we see, where's the shadow of the flag at the, I don't know, what would you say, probably from 7 o'clock till midnight as far as a clock. We don't ever see the shadow there. See how the shadow starts at about 5 o'clock, or no, it's about 7 o'clock, and rotates counterclockwise. We see it come all the way up to about 1 and disappear every single time. That again comes down to, if they're lying to you, there's a reason. If things are real, you would have a 24-hour webcam. Think of the ISS. We don't get to see 24 hours of footage from space, just like we don't get to see 24 hours of footage from Antarctica. But you can watch pandas for 24 hours, or you can watch the grave of Andy Warhol. And so what I'm saying, as I've said a million times, is use your head. Why wouldn't they show you 24-hour footage from Antarctica? It's because it doesn't match what's in textbooks, because it's not true what's in textbooks, because it is not a continent on the bottom of a big ball, mostly because you can't live on a ball.
There's a lot going for the flat Earth, yeah, absolutely.